the following Thursday.
So guys, by the time you're watching this video, today is Thursday. We did this service work with Joseph on Sunday, but sometimes getting around to editing is usually a difficult task when you have several other errands to run and family to deal with. But yeah, it kind of details just a bit of the amount of maintenance work you have to do on a Tekken, but at the same time it kind of covers maintenance work you have to do on your bike. Generally, things you need to really check on to ensure that your bike is in good health. So the maintenance we did and the preparations I'm making is that there will be a couple of long adventures to come in the near future, and quite a good number of other short, wonderful instructional videos. But I just want this bike to be as healthy as possible to prevent any kind of issues at all. Joseph calls me a perfectionist when it comes to bike maintenance, but I tend to call it ensuring that you don't suffer any kind of breakdowns or any unforeseen issues into or before or after you begin your journeys on a bike. There are some things we didn't do on the bike, maybe to do with changing of bearings or checking on the brake pads and whatnot, but those ones are things that I did a long time ago. Those bearings tend to last a long time, so there are things on the bike that you don't really need to do as often. So yeah, watch the video, see what you learn inside it, ask any questions if you can, and if you do have any suggestions of videos you think probably I should look into or content I should cover in the near future, just mention it in the comments, and I am able to curate that for you and work on that particular issue. Other than that, keep it light, keep it watching. Also, I almost forgot, and also apart from watching my channel, I have collaborated with another biker. He's called Shafiq. He has a channel called ST Rides, ST space Rides Kenya. Now, on that channel, I shall be curating some short videos, either preludes to long rides I'm going to be having, either training or instructional videos, or just the odd short videos of things I come across here and there. So you can always find those particular videos on that side. I shall be leaving the link in the description, and also at the same time, the objective of that is that we're going to be sharing this content with him, and the main objective is that the proceeds we start getting from YouTube and maybe even other sponsors or collaborators on that particular channel, those proceeds will likely be going to other lucky bikers who watch those short videos, maybe make comments, maybe make interactions, or suggest things that they want to see. So those short videos will probably be either a minute, 2 or 3 long, so you can always check them out there. Whichever biker we choose, we'll be either giving them some gear, merchandise, and whatnot. We'll be choosing, and there will be specific ways in which we'll be doing that. But that is the main objective of him and I sharing that content, even with other collaborators and also maybe with other sponsors. So check that out also. So stay tuned. Be looking at both channels, my channel and that other channel, ST Rides Kenya. Check it out, see what's there. The content will keep improving. It may not look like so much right now, but it will keep improving in time as we move along. So yeah, see you soon.
My fellow Tekkeneers, we are here doing service and we've discovered something inside your airbox. Number one, you really have to open up the whole thing to actually access the top end of the airbox, so that you can get really deep in there, disconnect several things, it's an extremely difficult airbox to work with. Now, the funny thing we discovered is that that drainage hole all the way down there was made to be small. So you have to open it up, make it bigger, use one of those long star screwdrivers and try and widen it up completely. Otherwise, if you don't, your bike will always have water inside there and it will not be draining like so. See that? Now it's draining very well. That is how it's supposed to drain water out of the airbox if you go to places where water is too much. That is how it's supposed to drain that water out. So you have to make sure that hole is wide enough. There's a plug. What a plug? There's a tiny plug at the very bottom. The plug looks like that. Open that plug up, remove it, get inside your airbox, and make sure you have completely widened that tiny hole at the bottom. Yeah. So the number of things we are going through today is an oil change. Putting in this beautiful Axela. We're going to be installing this aluminium phone mount because the places where I go, plastic phone mounts can't handle it. So the bike is all opened up. It's all opened up. The airbox is fully open. Tank is out. A lot of wiring work to be done. Good amount of cleaning also to be done. Also going to be installing the air filter. Also going to be installing these new wonderful auxiliary lights. I tested them. I discovered they have the kind of illumination I prefer, or rather what I would call safe illumination. So I like them. Yeah, even the battery is out. Battery levels are okay. Acid levels are good. Don't mind how it looks. Acid batteries are just amazing to work with. I don't like dry cell batteries. Yeah, they don't last that long. This is the man himself, Joseph Gisovi, engineer. So we're also going to be working on the monoshock slightly, just raising it up a bit. It will be slightly stiff, but at the end of the day, at least be able to handle more load. We got some missing screws somewhere here at the back that need to be put in, and another one somewhere inside there.
So basically, for you guys going through the rough terrains, you need to look at the 4 bolts. Now we have 2 behind here,
2 bolts,
and there's 1. You can see from this side, this one is not there, so you can see the old exhaust is out.
Came off.
We have the other one that just next to that one held into that and the front side of the exhaust. So you need to check this.
4 bolts. 4 bolts. There are 4 bolts that hold the entire Tekken exhaust system. Those 4 bolts need to be checked. If you don't check them, then your exhaust is going to be falling off. You need to have good bolts. So I'm going to be removing these lights and checking the entire wiring system to see or to look for some faults, because it has been making these left side aux lights blow up and just get destroyed. So you want to find out what happened exactly to that wiring there. Yeah, basically that's the range of work. Also plus a rear tire alignment and maybe a slight bit of chain tension or chain cleaning. Don't worry about the dirt. It's an adventure bike, it's supposed to be dirty. Yeah, basically that's the amount of work we have to be doing today. Yeah, see you all on the other side. So now, as it stands, that is the current hot mess we are looking at. So now we want to head out a little bit and get some iodite. Now the work of the iodite is to completely seal up this airbox intake pot, because apparently if you just use regular silicone for this bit that mounts there, what you're going to have is that it's going to start peeling off. Eventually it will peel off because of all the exchange of petrol and other fumes coming in and out. So you need to have that as a permanent fix. So once that is properly sealed, it's going to be okay. The manufacturer doesn't seal up that place very nicely, so that's a big issue. So currently that's what we want to do, and then head out, get that stuff we need, and then come back. We also have to go buy those particular bolts that I mentioned earlier on that we need, and plug up or rather link up that place very nicely. I think around 4 bolts. Number Gapi? What number? 12. Number 12. Yeah, number 12 bolts. So that's what we want to go and do. Also, when I come back, if you live in the coast or in areas that have a lot of humidity, you also need to have a look at the bottom end of your tank. So I'm going to come and do some service on this tank also, some sanding, some bit of sanding, and then also spray can paint black. I believe that will work. Just I can secure this place to prevent too much rusting happening. All the welding points, these particular points now become the weak points where holes develop. As you can see, I hadn't really noticed that things are this bad, but I think things are bad, so I need to get that fixed immediately today. So there are a bunch of things that you need to do to keep your Tekken in tip-top shape, but as it is, as a bike as it is, it's just general stuff. As it is, it's very solid. The engine does quite beautifully, tells you nothing. It's just those small manufacturing issues that need to be taken care of or looked into constantly. Otherwise, other than that, yeah, I'll see you in the next round.
One eternity later.
Idiot has done here. Yeah, the expert himself, Joseph, is that he has sealed off that pot with epoxy really well, so that it's a more permanent seal that doesn't allow any leakage of dust or air or water inside there. Yeah, that is the first process of basically doing service to this bike, preparing it for bigger journeys to come. You can see even on the inside it's fully sealed, fully done. It's kind of a long job, but anyway, we have to do it. I'll show you guys how it's all being done. I think maybe we should have first raised the monoshock before we do that. But
definitely can access that.
yeah, the monoshock you can still access it either way. And now what I've been doing is that just using the petrol from the tank, just put some on a little container. I've been brushing the underside. It looks a bit different from before. Doesn't look like a very clean, elegant job, but at least it has gotten most of the rust out. Now I'm just going to come and wipe it off properly with the same petrol actually, and then give it a nice good paint, nice good black paint the rear, just to prevent all this crazy rusting from ever happening again. Yeah, so that's the whole process we are going through, step by step until this baby is all done. So now, as you can see, a little bit of a cloth dipped in some petrol and some nice dedicated wiping. You can see where all the rusty spots are, and so I'm going to embark on a little bit of this slight sanding and painting just to get it done. See if I can get some sandpaper. If I don't have some sandpaper, to heck with it. I'm just going to paint it as it is, just to keep off all this rust from spreading any further. Yeah, that's how that looks like. So, first layer is on. Just waiting for it to dry out a little bit. First layer is on. Well, normally spray can paint usually helps quite a lot. It's pretty resistant to removal, especially if you give it some good 1 or 2 layers. You can have a very good well done paint job just with spray can paint. adjust with spray can paint. So Joseph is trying to fit in the airbox pipe. Is it now? Wait, what? What are you saying?
As you can see the pipe, this manifold is already fitted. You can see there's no any leakage because when you're moving around, so too much air can cause any mixture, so backfire will happen, loss of power. So with this helper, it actually sealed, so it's completely sealed. So from there now it's fixing this back to the carburetor. So I'm going to screw it back.
A very annoying process. I've never liked that part.
It's just so long process, but
it's a long, annoying. If anybody hasn't really come across the fitting of the airbox pipe to the carburetor on the Tekken, you will quickly discover it's a very annoying job.
But at the end of the day, you need to get this one fixed if you want your bike to give you maximum torque.
Yeah.
Eventually, let's fuel consumption. So the rest of the package is fitting in
airbox is beautifully clean.
The new air filter.
And then the new air filter.
There's a big difference. Now, as you can see, the new one has no the meshing. Now, this meshing is called a fire arrestor or flame arrestor. What it does is to help the bike during the backfire. It prevents the bike from catching fire. It actually does. Now, it's very important to note that whenever you guys are getting, you need to get this one and not this one.
Guys, if you
we are going to use this one in the meantime, but we have to replace it with this one. We have to find this one so that we can prevent any catastrophe maybe later in the future. So it's very important to check and get the exact part for the filter.
Done and done.
What's happening?
Madame Triffy is just enjoying life with avocados as we are here toiling and laboring in the sun. See her life with these small tiny minions.
So here we go. This is the new one. So we're trying to put it back.
Oh, that's fit like a glove.
So I have to go this way.
Oh, you have to tie it around.
The problem is the size. Now
it's a bit wide. The new one is a bit wide.
Yeah, it's a bit wide, but we're gonna just fix it up.
It's going to fit. It's going to be tight, but it's going to fit either way.
That's going to be great for us. So first things first.
Getting to the airbox on the Tekken is very annoying.
So
very annoying.
There it is. And now the next thing is to put it up. Put it that way, and make sure it goes all the way inside. So definitely I have to push it and make sure it's fitted tight. Yeah, that way.
There you go.
There you go.
Now screwing it in now. Actually, it look upside down.
No.
This gill is supposed to be down inside.
The gills, no. The wire meshing, the wire meshing has to fit inside. Now, when the backfire does happen, the wire meshing is actually to secure the fire from reaching the
gills.
The gills. So
someone placed that thing the wrong way on my bike previously.
So this one it has to go this way.
Way.
Okay. Now,
so someone had placed this one
facing upwards instead of this way.
Instead of down.
So now this one helps the suction.
Yeah, to clean the air before it comes in.
Before it goes into the combustion chamber.
So now, guys, you know this is the
right way on how to place it.
That's the right way to place it. Someone had placed mine the other way. Oh no, man. So when I mentioned that the Tekken monoshock is adjustable, this is what I meant. You have to first of all unlock it. That's pretty inaccessible. That's the lock. You unlock that top lock first. And then
this one is the lock.
That's the lock. Once you've unlocked that, then you can now hit on the, you have to hit the lower piece.
Now the lower piece you're going to turn it clockwise now to increase the tension.
Yeah.
So that now when you load on carriage, it doesn't give you that much swinging.
Yeah. So it kind of increases the tension of the monoshock, but at the same time it kind of raises the rear end a little bit. That way, if you need to carry maybe a heavier pillion or a heavier load, at least you're sure that the monoshock doesn't really go all the way down and maybe hit against the lower end, or the top end of the exhaust box. It's a pretty annoying process, but that is the only way you can actually.
Because the airbox is pretty annoying because of the airbox.
Yeah,
now.
it's annoying
To
because of
access
where
it,
the airbox
now
was
we have
put.
just to. We
You
should
have
have done
to-
this before putting this, but we have to struggle
Yeah.
with it. But it's okay. We are going to get it done.
It should have been done way before you put in the
Before.
air pipe or the airbox pipe. But this is literally the only way you can adjust it. That's the only way to do it.
Actually, you need to be patient with it.
Yeah.
Like, really patient with it. No hurry.
Very patient.
You can see it kind of moves slowly, but it's pretty good.
This is the only way to adjust your monoshock. So I mentioned to you guys previously that if you want the perfect setup for maybe light pillions and light loads, you leave 8 threads or 9 threads above. But now we are going to increase those threads by around 12. Yeah, around 12 threads. At least that would allow us to pillion, because we want to do a lot of adventures together. We only have this bike to work with. So it has to be raised. Raised a little bit to accommodate us easily.
Eventually.
So now, after a lot of tinkering, a lot of bashing here and there, we had to go for these two screws, or these 2 bolts here, so they can lift that exhaust up to ensure it's in place. Another one on this side, another one on that side, down there also. Everything is now okay. Basically, we are done with the airbox, and then the monoshock, we are done with that. Everything is closed up, everything is cleaned up nicely. So we kind of like working our way from the back to the front, because the front here has a good amount of wiring issues we want to solve, mostly the grounding. Yes, that is background music from my boy. And here is, yeah, that is what we are dealing with currently. So yeah, he's cleaning up, doing some good amount of WD-40 everywhere. We live in the coast. It's also a weirdly nice cleaning agent with a nice cloth, spray, wipe off all the dirt and grime. Yeah, let's move along. So that's the process currently. As you can see here, the airbox exhaust port, rather where the air is gotten from, basically has been sealed perfectly, and to the curb it has also been properly sealed. Now it's a nice perfect fit. We've gotten the exhaust locked into place here wonderfully, and also somewhere inside here is another screw that has also been locked in also very well. Yeah, so we're now moving ahead. Eventually we'll also end up changing oil on this big boy. Well, not big boy, oh my god, I'm sorry, it's a girl. Her name is Dent. Ooh, okay, yeah. We're also going to change oil on Dent, and that will mostly be it. The wiring, the oil. We're also going to check the throttle cable, because I've realized it's not snapping back into place as quickly as it's supposed to. It's a bit stiff. That will also be addressed. Yeah, so which is now going back into place. It has had a little bit of a vacation, and I think it's now ready to continue serving. I checked the acid levels. The acid levels are okay. as I had mentioned earlier, you can live with your stock Tekken battery for a very long time. All it requires is a little bit of servicing. Not most likely. Actually, I've realized it's every 3 to 4 months. Every 3 to 4 months, you can just remove it. Check.
So you're talking about 15,000 kilometers. You need to like top up.
Yeah, every 15,000 kilometers, check it, top up the acid. If you
Don't
desire,
be kind of lazy.
charge it. Yeah, don't be lazy.
Because we know that the acid most of the times are kind of lazy, like looking at the acid. You just want to start the bike and off you go. But you are damaging your bike. Just spend some 5 minutes, just look into the battery, make sure it's okay, top up with the distilled water if necessary, and you're good to go.
And usually it's very easy to remove. Just there's a little pot here.
So these are the bolting.
Just that.
That's the bracket.
And that.
So there are 2 bolts from here. This is actually a 8 socket, millimeter socket. So you can see these are the bolts. Actually, it's a thread 6 mm, but the tool it's a 8 millimeter socket box. So yeah, that's it. So you're going to drive it back. The up on, it's gone there.
It's very easy to actually get your battery off. Check it up.
And we have the the small one actually gives a headache because of the compartment. Now you need to just use some extra force. Drive it back. So, yep, that's it. I got it to position. Yep.
Just like that. That is how you simply remove and take out your battery.
Now remember, this one is the breather pipe. Now you need to correct. If you can see, you can look at this. This is because of during the charging system, the moisture comes out from that. The chemical reaction actually brings out the moisture. Now it goes down into your chain, into your swing arm. This is very dangerous. So what we're going to do, we're going to find a pipe for it to locate the acid to go directly into the ground.
I'm surprised I didn't have a pipe for it.
Yeah, prevent for this, but actually I'm going to use WD-40 to make sure you can see how it reacted. You can see the black. This is because of the acid that was actually coming down on this. So yeah, it's good for us that we are able to find it in earlier. So yeah,
simple things. Simple things.
Take your time, check into your bike, make sure it runs perfectly.
Now, the biggest advantage with these acid batteries is that until the cathodes in there run out, or rather they get completely degraded, this battery will serve you for what, 4 or 5 years or so.
Basically, the good maintenance would give you a maximum of 3 good years.
3 good years of
3
service.
good years, depending how you look at your bike.
If you compare that to regular dry cell batteries of this size, of this capacity, you'll end up buying a dry cell battery every other year. So, which is cheaper? You taking a little bit of time to maintain your battery, or buying
take a maximum minimum of 5 minutes to
Yeah.
just spend to
Check.
set the 1,000 shillings you may have spent on that maybe buying your battery.
It's not even 1,000. It's charging it up to these guys, our local guys who charge them up. That normally takes what, 400, 500 shillings. You're done.
Maintenance.
In other countries, 400 to 500 shillings is around $4 to $5, maximum $8. You're done.
So another thing with the acid battery, remember you have to apply the petroleum gel. It actually prevents the decomposition.
Say that again. They hear.
You need to use the petroleum gel.
Yeah, simple.
prevent
Vaseline.
this. It's actually Vaseline.
Yeah, just Vaseline.
Yeah, you just
apply on those terminals.
Look
That's
at this.
it.
This same battery had some issues before.
This is not
My guy was stuck
second year
in
running.
Samburu somewhere, and my guy, he had to like, Joseph, you bought a new battery. What is happening? I said, okay, bro, you need to get the other set. And actually, for the last 6 months, the guy has been really running the battery. After just fixing it.
I had bought a new.
Bought another. Actually, my new battery. It's a dry set. It's actually in the store. Just there.
I threw it away because I realized it's just a waste of money. I just got the terminals done with petroleum jelly, and then got the battery charged up. Took me only just 1 hour for charging up, and now that battery has been like that for the last 4 months. Today is the only day that this battery has been removed from its place. I have checked it. Acid levels are still okay. I'm good to go for the next 4 months, you know. Yeah, so little bit of things, just checking.
As you can see, this is the Vaseline gel that you're looking at. Remember, it's also good for your skin. If it nourishes your skin, definitely it's going to do some miracles to your battery. Believe you me, you wanna try this.
We are not saying we are advertising Vaseline.
No, but actually it really works.
But we are just saying it really works.
It really works. I've done this a couple of times with them. Huh?
Yeah, on
So
the
not
battery
the first time
terminals.
we've done it.
And not only on the battery terminals, but also on several of these several connectors on your bike. Just use Vaseline, man.
Remember, in my region, my coast region, we need to actually secure the whole bike.
Yeah.
After this, I'm going to remove the electrical part. So I'm going to be smearing each and every socket just to make sure everything is safe from corrosion because of the salty water, the salty environment, the rainy water. You know, my guy is also torturing this bike so bad. So I know wherever he goes.
I'm doing very.
I
You see
get some
the
calls.
condition of this bike? It's always dirty, covered in
No day I
grime.
never come to do the service and the bike was super clean.
Never.
It's always in this condition.
Never. So the bike is being used quite seriously. So I always need to have all my terminals well secured, so that I don't have problems. Ever. I never actually do have problems with the bike at all. It just runs perfectly for the most part. So remember, again, check all your terminals. Insulate them with some Vaseline, and yes, she's a girl, she's baby dent, yeah, so she needs her Vaseline. I can't apply grease on her. That's very dangerous. That's for boy bikes. So now I want to just fire up the bike. Obviously the fuel tank is not there, but there's always some fuel in the cab, so don't worry about that. Change also.
Before you take out your oil, you must make sure that you heat it up a little bit, like 5 minutes, to make sure all the oil and residue comes out. So
I think just warming it up a little. So strangely enough, she will run on this itty bitty tiny amount of fuel there until it's all over. So we just want her warmed up a little bit so that we can eventually drain the oil out properly, because the engine was cold.
don't mind about the heat or the smoke.
Yeah. The smoke you're seeing is coming from, it's already hot. Oh yeah, the WD-40 and some plastics. Oh wow, okay. I think it's the paint, must be the paint. Yeah,
The WD-40.
the WD-40, yeah. It's not anything serious. Whew. That's how she sounds. That's just a WD-40 coming out of there because he sprayed that area. So the engine is getting nice and hot. That is not a plastic burning, so it's an okay thing. It's an okay thing. It's where he had sprayed some WD-40 on the
Exhaust mounting bolts.
on the mounting bolt, on the exhaust mounting bolts. That's where that is coming from. It's not like a fire to be worried about. Yeah. Salman, what are you doing? We are doing some work on the bike, yeah? Yeah. It's not fire, it's smoke. Yeah, that's very loud. Beep beep.
This is the petroleum gel, so I'm going to put each and every socket. That's kind of going to. If you look at the CDI, inside there's an insulator, so just to add some more insulation,
just in case. Because sometimes there is this weird gap right here, and it normally tends to spill over some water. As I'm right there, you crazy places. It will spill over some water to this end. So I don't want my CDI connectors getting affected, short circuiting, or getting bogged with water. So again, a little bit of Vaseline goes a long, long way.
Now for those who want to put the alarm system, here's the connector, no matter the wiring. So you only need to know what is expected of you. So you want the alarm system, you want the automatic start. Yeah, you got it. Just need to buy the accessory, and yeah, your guy can fix it.
There's already a port on allowance that allows you to just plug in your alarm system and done. You can start your bike automatically. Zaman, what are you fixing? Okay. Oh, you've done some good amount of work, eh? You had applied some time back.
Here's a hand over the leg. And we need some notes. Some security position. There. This is the flasher too. This one is okay.
That's a flasher, you know.
Yeah. That's it. So the rear part of this electrical is done. So we are going to move
walking now towards the front,
part.
where the majority of problems are actually. Those problems. That's very, very dry.
It's very dry.
Very, very dry. It has never seen water.
No, but that's advantage for it.
Yeah.
This is the gas sensor. Actually, this one in the case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is your gas sensor. So you also need to take good care of it. That's it. The regulator is one wire. So this is your regulator. So this is the device. Changes AC into DC. This is the direct current. The DC goes into the battery, from the battery to the electrical transmission system. Not bad.
And you, Zalman? Tell me something. What? That needs checking, eh? Good? Yeah, sound okay? Okay. Okay. Is that a good sound or a bad sound? It's a bad sound. Oh no.
Well, actually, you have to want me to talk.
Okay.
I'm going to be redoing this auxiliary lights, the wiring, like fixing all new, because I don't want this case, because if you can look at this one is improved properly, so I'm gonna be redoing it all, and then I'm gonna put an insulator for it, whereby it's actually protected from the rain. Because if you can see this wire is very tiny, so I need to do a very protective wire like this one. No, this one though. So I'm going to rip off everything in this. As you can see, this already is already not there. So this one expect malfunctioning on the electrical side, and there's a disadvantage. I'll say it's a disadvantage with the Tekken. It uses a DC supply, which means without the battery the bike doesn't move at all. So you can see as of this one is a serious trouble. This is a very serious thing, and I just have to fix the whole thing from the forward to the back. So I'm going to redo the things and make sure everything in this bike runs smoothly. So eventually after this, I'm going to show you the photo or the video of how it's done.
Yeah. So this is, let's just say this is the before
this
Video.
is before, like this is before, and this also auxiliaries you're going to.
Oh, we are
remove.
changing them also.
So
Yeah.
expect this. We've given you something
Yeah.
massive, something good. You know.
Lighting. So I tested.
Some good lights.
I tested these ones, and they have the kind of lighting I need for the road.
Very
These
good
ones-
lights. You
these
don't
ones
want
not
this,
so
this,
much.
Like, yeah, expect much.
Proper lighting. So now comes the whole process of undoing the entire wiring bit, starting from the front.
Headlight, like the whole headlight is going to be out.
This is all a serious wiring issue. So it has to be done nicely and neatly, following each wire from point start to end. Taking the time.
Basically, why I like working with the models because I know it's a construction. And most of the things are
Yep.
handmade. So it has really helped me to do other bikes and never ever get some challenges like what
Yep,
this.
yep,
So,
yep. So I always prefer to have my bike running as perfectly as
it's
possible.
a fun bike to enjoy to do. Yes.
A lot of fun because I end up doing several things because I've done
Doing his job.
I've done this bit, helped with removing the seats and everything. I've done that tank way over there. It was just sitting waiting to be mounted. You can see how nice it looks. I've done the tank. I remember even when I was with Kebunja in Nairobi, and also when Kebunja came home, I also did a fair amount of work, especially. Kebunja, thank you. Kebunja, thank you so much for everything. We appreciate you so much for all the training, all the insights you give us, even the interactions you had with Joseph when you came around.
Really good, man.
Really helped us. You are the master, man. You are the master. I think you've helped improve Joseph's skills and confidence quite significantly.
It's not easy, but I just about myself to make sure
Yeah,
I'm on the same page with other people.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not just unique with other people, they are not different from me. They make mistakes. At the end of the day, we just need to do a good job. And
Yeah.
the customer satisfaction is my number one goal.
Nice. Customer satisfaction. I'm not even his customer. I'm more like
He's a brother to me. Yeah, man.
I'm like his brother and his apprentice at the same time. So I'm also learning some things. Except I said I am not going to learn anything about wiring. I don't want to learn wiring.
He's afraid, man. I don't know why he's afraid.
No. Me and wiring, no way. Leave me alone. I'm not bothered.
So guys, as you can see, I stripped off the front light. So basically, I'm gonna spray with some WD-40 to just make sure everything is clean and tied up there. So I'm gonna clean this, so eventually, I just need to do a clean job. You know,
He has to follow up every other single wire and find out where each wire is going,
everything.
what's up, what was wired wrong, and fix the whole damn thing.
One thing that you need to know that when you're dealing with wiring issues, you really need to be very patient. At the same time, that your mind needs to be free. Stop thinking anything apart from what you're doing.
Yeah.
You are able to focus. You don't want to, any small thing gone wrong messes every system.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you need to be very.
And I also do not want to be stuck anywhere in the bush.
These guys go somewhere else. Even I don't think it's going to fix the Google map. I don't know. It doesn't exist in Google map. So yeah.
There is quite a number of adventures I'm preparing for, and I prefer having a bike that has zero to no issues. I would prefer to have a bike that only has, let's say, I can call them physical mechanical issues, not electrical issues, especially out there in places where things go wrong very quickly. So let's finish up with the wiring. I'll show you what that looks like later.
So guys, now I got my tools. This is the insulator after doing everything. So I'm gonna put this. This is the first time I think I'm using this one. Like if for me, it's because of the auxiliary lights. It's just going to just put on top it of my insulator. And then I've got the rituals. This one actually helps me a lot because I don't have to do so much about it, like fixing, like looking at the controls. No need. So I'm just going to look everything, each and every place, maybe continuity, maybe the resistance, maybe the power. This is what. And then if you can look at this is my chunk of wires. Like I never miss this. This one giving the good color codes, like the yellow, the black is for the grounding, the yellow is for the auxiliary light, this one is for the DC. Like,
Okay.
yeah, that's it. So yeah, and then not to forget, this is my analog. Now this is the best. I can never miss this one. So this one gives me just everything that I need.
You need to
sometimes
test
this
and
one-
find out
yeah,
if one line is active or not.
Yes,
Yeah.
this one is the best to work with.
So
So you guys, thank you. Keep it posted.
let's get to it. Let's get to it. So now the new lights have been installed. As you can see, the wires run nice and clean all the way through there. Nice and clean. They disappear into the wiring system. So somewhere out here, some power has been drawn from this end. And so we've installed two switches for them, which are peculiarly supposed to indicate. Wait, this one is on. Oh, it was white.
You know, that's the white one.
So that's the white.
The white one. So I can basically switch it off and use the other one for
The
the
yellow.
At the same time, you can put for both. So it's a mixture.
They'll do combined.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this one will be white and this other one will be yellow.
So basically, where we left is yellow. Left is yellow. Yeah.
The left one is yellow.
The right one is white.
Is white.
The right one is
so
white.
if I choose this one, this is white, and the left one gives me the yellow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So if
That is done.
if you look at this before the previous that we showed you, the wiring was not properly done. So as you can
It's
see,
a bit shoddy.
yeah, I brought
this
them
right
the,
now.
the two lights together. I brought them from here and then I wired them up. I put in this insulator. As you can see, this is what I used to have it together. So this one is really protected from any water.
At least. So this was the
Yeah.
this was the previous.
This was the culprit. If you look at
40
this,
switch.
you see this. Now the wires here are not separated because of too much heat. As you can see now, this one was bringing about the issues. As you can see,
The red was the red is worn out
this is
inside.
completely worn out. As you can see, this one was bringing about the short circuit. If you look at this is completely gone. You can see this. So this was actually the culprit of the previous lights, which means the lights, other lights are still much better.
Okay.
Next I want to do is put the headlight back, fix everything back together, put it back together.
Boom, boom, and we are done.
Oil change, get the oil change.
Oh, oil change, yes, we haven't done the oil change. Good to go. Sawa. So as you can see now, the other stage of all this wiring madness was to basically undo all the insulation and follow all the wires and see whether they're all okay. And now we're just really closing up that business. Yeah, so that now we can get to the oil changes. We've ascertained a few things. That we've discovered that the parking light LEDs, the one on the right is kaput. This one is kaput. Doesn't matter, as long as I have enough lighting to be seen from many kilometers away. That is a non-issue to me. So yeah, just getting done, checking all the wiring, checking every single cable, seeing what is what, insulating and re-insulating to ensure that it never gets really wet and whatnot. Living in the coast, you're dealing with a lot of humidity, so things like this, either twice a year or even 3 times a year, just checking up on all your wiring doesn't really take much away from you. Just keeps you ready. So the bike is basically more or less very ready for any and all kinds of things. Yeah. So a little extra surprise of something I've done to the bike is that I've now installed handlebar raisers, at least to give me a little bit better maneuverability off-roading and also comfort. So that steering column now appears a bit higher, and I can go play. I can go play much better.
Guys, this is just awesome. You don't want to miss this thing. Like, for real. This is just a beauty.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. Kind
now-
of a plane, huh?
Eh?
Kind of a plane with it, huh?
Now,
Like, you know.
now you can go play. Now you can go play in peace. Yeah?
Look at that. Relax.
Just relaxed.
Hands are fully
This is just there. It's done. Woo! So now we're in the final stage. We're more or less the 98% level. We've extracted all the oil and removed the sugar filter. Just cleaning it up. Keeping it as clean and tidy as possible. Basically that's it, and then now we're going to fill in the oil. And then adjust the rear a little bit and some change tension, and we'll call that a day. So currently it's going to around 6:30. Yeah, we've been at this work the entire day. Well, the better part of the afternoon. Actually no. Is it from 10?
Yeah, from 10 definitely.
Yeah,
10.
from around 10 or 11 a.m. thereabouts.
So this is the oil strainer, and then inside the engine we also have an oil filter. But now this oil filter is called the centrifugal oil filter. What it does,
And
it
it's on which
was,
side?
it's on the clutch side.
Okay.
At around 15,000 kilometers, you need to be opening the clutch cover and basically just do the cleaning. It has got the 3 bolts, screw bolts, so just open it, get kerosene and a brush, and just do some cleaning, thorough cleaning. It's called centrifugal oil filter.
So as you've heard, there is a centrifugal oil filter on the Tekken. On the other side, on the left side, is
You have this is the oil strainer.
Oil strainer.
Now basically, if this one is clogged, like it cannot, like, yes, it is clogged definitely. So what happens there, the oil cannot go into the oil pump, and basically if it doesn't go to the oil pump, there's no oil is going to go to get supplied into the engine. So basically the oil from here is supplied to the oil filter, from the oil filter to the clutch cover, from the clutch cover to the centrifugal oil filter. Then from there, you know, it gets supplied all on the engine and comes back via the timing chain. Now the oil is sent back from the timing chain. Thank you guys.
Now you know. So your finger filter or your tiny oil strainer is found way down
Just
here.
below the sump guard, and the socket. This one is a 24 millimeter.
Yeah, 24.
So this one is the one that actually uses to open. And if you can see, actually it's this has got the what do you call the O-ring. Now most cases you need to replace the O-ring, but for us we're just going to keep the original. But later on in the future we're going to replace. And remember one thing: this one is aluminium. Whenever you are tightening, don't use too much force.
Yeah.
At least 1 Newton meter is okay. That's the top for it. Now inside this, most of cases we have this. This is the drain cock. Mostly it has the what we call the magnetic thing to actually get trap the particles inside. But now in this case, here it's inside this drain plug. If you can see, this is magnetic. As you can see, it has taken my screwdriver. Now what happens there? All the filings, all the way entire particles are trapped in this. As you can see, this is magnet, and you can see
There's some oil filings.
these are the filings.
Let me see.
So
Hold on, kidogo.
these are the filings from there inside there.
Wow.
As I've said, also this one is a 10 millimeter socket. You also have to remove it and clean it after some time.
These are oil filings.
These are all filings. You can see inside here. Everything is trapped. Now in this case, your engine, if you look at your oil strainer, is super clean, which means your engine is very much okay. The only way you can know your engine is okay is via the oil strainer and the magnet inside there. So in case of any filings inside there, no, you need to check your engine. Maybe some gearbox is gone, some wear and tear is happening. So maybe bearing, maybe crankcase is gone. So you need to verify and get the.
Wait, so if you don't see any oil filings there, there's a problem.
If you don't see any oil filings inside there, but if you see a chunk of it,
a chunk, like a huge chunk.
Yes, no, there's a problem.
Oh, there's a bit. Oh,
but
okay.
in this case, the engine is good to go. The engine is very okay.
Hey, that is okay. Good to go. Clean bill of health.
So surprisingly, iko tu sawa kabisa.
Surprisingly. We are now in the final process of getting oil on this baby. We're using some premium stuff, Axela.
So guys, if you look keenly here on the dipstick,
It's written like 1200.
it's a 1200 ml. So nobody tells you that you put
1 liter oil.
1 liter of oil. No, you'll be wasting your engine. You'll be running at a low oil level.
So now you know. You know.
So as you can see, this version, this species, or rather say, it got the oil. This one is the oil cooler, and most of it you need to keep the fins clean. Like in this case, after this, you're gonna go wash it.
Yeah, to a car wash.
To make the fins. This one really helps the circulation of the oil, what do you call cooling the oil, and that increases the mileage and also the lifespan of the oil, and increases also the engine performance. So
There you go.
now from the dipstick, guys, make sure you add, okay, get it done by having the measuring jar. From this point, after this, we're going to measure it 200 ml.
Yeah.
And we get
We are good. So this bike consumes 1 full liter of Axela. We devised, because it has a very because the crash guards kind of block the entryway for the oil.
yeah. So
We devised that particular funnel and pipe
yeah.
to get that oil in. But whichever area you're in, you can devise your own. Thing to work with. We love Axela. We love Axela a lot. And I mentioned in the group, for those of us who are in the Tekken group, that
basically is a 20 W50. 20 means decrease, and this one minus 50 temperature of below 50 degrees or above, whatever. This is okay. So this is very good engine, 4-stroke engine, no,
Yeah.
very good engine.
liquid gold.
So guys, now this one is a drain and refilling, but also at the same time we've got what we call the
Drain
oil.
and filling?
This is draining and refilling.
Oh.
So we put about 1200 ml, but now when you're doing the overall engine work, this one will go for 1400 ml.
Wait, when you overhaul the engine?
Overall engine which is a dry engine, no oil engine. So we have something called the oil pockets. The oil is never out.
Yeah, you never,
Follow me.
you never fully drain out the oil.
200 ml will be always inside the engine.
Yeah.
So I just want to inform you the overall capacity, I mean the oil capacity in this bike is 1400 ml.
Okay.
But drainage and refilling is 1200. So you give your engine a very good lifespan by maintaining a good level of oil.
Here's the rest of it. This is part where now we measure out what we need.
So this is the other part. Gotta be careful, or else it's going to hurt me so bad.
Not even that, you won't be able to open it.
Yeah. Because I don't want to open it fully because it's only 200 ml. So make sure it's on a flat surface and measure up to 200 ml. Yeah, right there, that's it. Okay. So back. The 200 ml. So that's it, folks. So after this, we're going to fire up the engine, warm it, and make sure all the oil circulates into the engine. Yeah,
We also want to note that people like Kibunja can do this without measuring. Somehow they know how much 200 or 250 ml is. I do not know how they know that. That's a very, very, very odd thing. But technically speaking, guys, we are now at 98% done.
Yeah.
And by 98% we mean that we haven't really
And remember,
done any adjustment there. As you can see, don't mind the dot. The chain is a little bit too close to the tire. That means the tire has moved to the left somewhat. Also needs some tensioning to be done. So we'll be taking care of that very, very soon.
Later that same evening.
Hi, so now after a long day of servicing, we are done with the bike. Thanks to my good man Joseph.
guys,
If
just
you
don't want to do this. This is just an amazing. Look at the time. It's 7.
Right now it's seven.
We've been
seven.
here since
we began
10.
we began from 10
around
10
10
a.m. or 11. That's when we began.
So just imagine how actually we needed to do all these things step by step, like trying to fix everything.
So these are the steps that we took. We began
we began from
randomly.
the side. We just had
we
to
said
choose to start
we
from
said
the
we are
back.
going to start from the back.
Yeah,
And
the
this,
back side.
this is the list of everything that we did. One,
So the
it
box,
was the
we need
air
to fix
filter.
The box
Wait,
was
first
there.
I think that let's start with the air
exhaust
filter
system.
because we began with the air filter.
Yeah, the air box, dismantle
The air filter and the air box, dismantled them, cleaned them, did everything. Then we went now to the exhaust silencer or the exhaust box.
we needed to fit in
Salman,
the
you will
two
fall.
bolts,
You will fall. Shuka.
two, like the 4 bolts were missing actually from the silencer, so we need to fix through all the way 4 bolts, and then from there
We went to the wiring.
we went to the wiring harness, and now that's where the real picture was, because we needed to figure it out where this is happening, where the social activity is happening. And then we came to a conclusion that the switch
There was a problem with the
burned.
switch.
So
Then we went down to the installation of the auxiliary lights.
Yes.
And then from the lights, we went again. He had to. We found another problem
Yes, like the
with the
parking
wiring
lights,
harness.
The parking lights, the front
Parking lights are
weren't
gone.
working, and so I had to find a way on.
That was So that was this boy is giving me heart attacks. Anyway. So that happened also, and then we've finished with what? The oil change. You've seen the oil change. You've seen those lessons there, and then there was the rear wheel.
The rear wheel.
Adjusted that, and also adjusted the brake pads at the same time. And then also,
we got 2 things here. If you can see, our steering is a bit raised, huh?
It's a bit higher. It's
2
a bit
inches.
higher.
It's a bit higher. You can see this. Now, I can tell you, this brother of mine is gonna be a hell on the road. You don't wanna try him.
So many more adventures coming. So
Yeah.
the aluminium foot mount and also the handlebar raisers, those ones were installed. Yeah, now it's a matter of
It was a
Good
pleasure
night.
working with Mr. Morris, a brother to me, a friend. Guys, I really appreciate this guy. I always learn
Good
from him. That's okay. Good night, guys. Peace.
wait, say good night.
Goodbye.
Yeah.